loan folks money, and on that very same day was the day that he cut a check to Joe for several $100,000. So, you know, I loaned my brother $50 2 Christmases ago, but $200,000 seems to be a stretch. I don't know what kind of pickup truck he was buying, but that was pretty extensive. I think if you just followed that trail right there, I mean, you play down the 5. Go ahead.
Those two are conflated, though, because the $200,000 was, according to documents that are coming out from the Oversight Committee, was a loan that Joe Biden gave to his brother James that was then paid back. The documents support that it was a loan, and that also happened in 2017 when Joe Biden was not vice president. And then you have the pickup truck money that was apparently given to Hunter Biden when he was struggling through his addiction. And that money was then given back by Hunter to his father, also supported by documentation, also happening in 2018 when Mike Pence was vice president. So I'll go back to my question. How much money specifically are you alleging that Vice President Joe Biden made off of his son's business dealings when he was in the White House?
I don't know, but if it's $1, he's lied about it. And you got to ask, what was the influence there? What is the brand? The brand is the Biden family. The brand is, they're not selling a service. They're not selling a product. He has no qualifications for this. The only reason he was there because he was Joe Biden's son or he was Joe Biden's brother. And that money flowed through. I mean, the money, you followed it, and it flowed even to minor children in the family. Now, what qualifications do they have? No, come on. I know you're CNN, but the reality is,
sir,
you can't look at this money. You cannot look at this.
Let's make this about the facts, sir.
No,
Let's make this about the facts.
Well, this is the facts. You cannot make this.
You're again making an assertion.
You keep saying the money down. You keep saying the money, then you say, well, only $5 million. Well, does that make it okay then? But $20 million.
No, sir. There is a huge distinction. Pardon me, sir. There's a huge distinction. There's a huge distinction between whether it's appropriate for the family of a president to make money off of his name and whether that's ethical. But the question is specifically about what Joe Biden did when he was in office in vice president, whether he abused his power or whether he enriched his family members. And right now, there is zero evidence coming from the Oversight Committee that when he was vice president, he did either of those things.
There's $20 million that flowed through. You saw these accounts.
That's
open
incorrect,
up
sir. The bank records don't reflect that.
No, sir.
They don't specifically say. I looked at the bank records. They don't say that Joe Biden got any money from them. Have you read the bank records? Because they don't list Joe Biden's name. I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you say things that are untrue, sir.
So, sir, the truth is that $20 million flowed through this family, whichever way it went. There's no records of taxes being paid. Statutes have run, and you're saying that is okay.
That is a talking point that you've repeated, but it is not actually what's in the bank records, sir. What's in the bank records is that $15 million of that money never even went to the Biden family. The other $5 million, there is exactly zero indication
where did that $15 million
go to?
Where did that money go to then?
To Devin Archer and other business associates related to President Biden.
There's over 20 shell corporations. Why would you set up a shell corporation that had absolutely nothing?
There's actually evidence from the Oversight Committee that those corporations had legitimate business dealings. You may define them as shell corporations the way that you see it.
Then what are they?
Some of them were consulting firms. Some of them were lobbying firms.
No, they weren't. Listen. If you want to do the interview, you just do the interview, but you're asking me a question. I'm trying to give you an answer, but
you're not giving me an honest answer, sir. You're repeating a talking point that has been debunked repeatedly. Have you read the bank records? Have you seen the bank records?
I have seen.
Do they say Joe Biden's name on them?
They say Hunter Biden's name, and what was the
product he wasn't
was
vice president.
Influence to the big guy.
Yet again, Republicans are putting on full display the extent to which they will stop at nothing in their desperation to do Donald Trump's bidding. So that we're clear, all of this is about their effort to impeach Joe Biden for some purported massive pay-for-play scheme, the same scheme that hinged on the confidential testimony of a guy named Alexander Smirnov, who only days ago was indicted for making false statements to the DOJ and laundering Russian disinformation to Congress. In other words, the entire basis of this effort has been so thoroughly, unceremoniously debunked, and yet still, these people are so hell-bent on doing Trump's dirty work that they will show up on TV, humiliate themselves, and then say, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" If these people were capable of shame, this would be a really rough day for them. And let's be clear, it's not just Tim Burchett. Here's James Comer putting his own humiliation fetish on full display.
What we've said over and over and over Joe Biden took $200,000 directly from AmeriCorps Health. Do what?
He was a private citizen at the time the $200,000 check was he not?
The $40,000.
$200,000 check which you've cited twice.
So it's okay. So do you have a problem that Joe Biden's lied about this? Do you have a problem that AmeriCorps Health hooked investors?
I'm asking you, what specific action did he take as a public official, an elected public official?
Well, with the yeah, okay, hey, calm down. It's okay. All the angry liberals, what you're saying, they'll be all right.
And yet, let's be clear about why this is happening. It's certainly not because they have some proof of some massive scheme. So far, the only smoking gun that Republicans can point to is a car loan that was lent to Hunter and then repaid, all the while Joe Biden was a private citizen. Is that illegal? Of course not. But the reality is that Trump is a proven fraud and con man. And the Republicans know that while they can't convince you that he's not a fraud, what they can try to do is convince you that Joe Biden is, all in an effort to cancel out Trump's biggest weakness. And so it won't matter how embarrassing this gets for James Comer and Jim Jordan and Tim Burchett and the rest of the Republican Party, because it was never about the facts. This whole thing was always about perpetuating the optics that Joe Biden's done something wrong. They know that if they can repeat it enough, that eventually people will start to believe it. And sure, they may go radio silent about whatever claim gets debunked that day, like their big 1023 forum in Alexander Smirnov, but they will find some other vague issue to cling on to until that too is debunked, and on we'll go. Again, this is not about the facts, this is about a narrative, and that narrative will continue until the election because Republicans have one goal: to present Joe Biden as corrupt in an effort to cancel out Donald Trump's corruption. It is an entire strategy built on manipulating the very people who are gullible enough to have placed their trust in Republicans. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Republicans may claim to hate the Democrats, but in reality, there is no one they have more contempt for than their own supporters. What we can't do, though, is keep quiet about this, because you better believe that Republicans will seize on any vacuum and fill it with disinformation. This is a well-trod path for them. They did it with Hillary's emails, they did it with Benghazi, and you better believe that they will throw as much shit against the wall as they can with this sham impeachment effort to see what sticks here, too. Our job, then, is to keep exposing just how fraudulent their behavior is. Remember, not a single Republican has been able to prove a modicum of evidence of wrongdoing by Joe Biden. The best they've got is that he loaned his family members money and then repaid it, which first of all, isn't illegal, and second of all, he wasn't even president or vice president at the time. So unless offering your kid a loan as a private citizen is somehow a high crime or misdemeanor, all they're doing is humiliating themselves. And if that's what they're intent on doing, then we should have no qualms about putting that on full display. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to the channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.